Okay, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first ever recording of the Refreshing the Feed podcast. My name is Matthew Storino,
And I'm Andrew Ariel.
and we're refreshing your feed so you don't have to. All right, so the first ever recording. This is very, very, very special. This podcast has been in the works for a while. Thankfully, it's finally undergoing.
Yes, sir.
Me and Andrew have been doing a lot of work, like a lot of marketing, and our co-producer Matthew Chiapetta has also been involved greatly in the podcast. Thankfully, it's finally up, and this is the first episode.
Yeah,
What the
hopefully
fuck
people
are
are
you
actually
laughing?
seeing this one. How many have we recorded? We recorded like 3 already that we had to scrap?
Yeah, just through editing and
Just
video and getting everything ready for like the
Yeah,
main premiere,
speed.
which is this. So yeah.
So what is this podcast? What are we talking about?
So just letting everybody know who's obviously new, because this is the first podcast, the first episode. This podcast is going to be primarily about trending topics, news, everything that's relevant right now that's happening, that you guys are interested in, that we're interested in, and me and Andrew, me and Andrew's going to be the most reoccurring guest, but we're going to be giving you our opinions and what we feel about the topics, and pretty much moving more forward from there, and
Yeah,
trying to connect with you guys and see what you also think about those topics.
exactly.
Andrew, you were gonna say something?
It's essentially going to be a podcast where I'm going to be on it most of the time, where we just shoot the shit on what's happening in the news. We just talk about what's going on, give our take on it, just
And
go
see
off
what
of
you
that.
guys think.
100%. Yeah, this show is gonna ever be changing, right? If something doesn't work, we'll change it up. It's not always
Yeah.
gonna be like this through like webcams and video and stuff. We will be
Yeah.
in studio physically together and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
eventually we'll be recording in the New Tab Media studio coming once all this COVID stuff it blows over, or
Yeah.
the vaccine becomes like for everyone, if you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
everyone gets it. But yeah, let's start with our first topic ever, Andrew. I hate to get a little political,
is-
but
You know what? History is being made on the
History's being
podcast
made.
front.
on
In
the
the world.
premiere, on the first episode of your first episode of the Refreshing the Feed podcast. That brings me to tell the viewers, yes, I was the previous host of your sister's favorite podcast, and going back to what we were talking about, the new podcast and stuff like that, it's just this was a new opportunity for myself and Andrew and our other co-producer of the podcast, and we just think it's a good idea to move forward. And this concept and idea was something we all really believed in, and not to take away from your sister's favorite, it was a great experience that I had, and I had great guests on and all that, but I think this is just some more in the direction I wanted to go in personally, and also with Andrew and Matt Chiapetta. But yeah, enough about the fucking old podcast. Let's live in the now. Today is a big day in history.
Huge.
Well, not really. You know, like I'm just gonna say what it is. It's Trump did today's inauguration of Joe Biden
Yeah.
as the president of the United States, and obviously Trump wasn't there because he's a bit of a dickhead.
The first president
Or-
ever, right? Well, not
Yeah.
ever. I think since like the 1800s.
It's been at least 150 years.
Yeah.
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 Like a gross amount of time. But like I also wanted to point out the fact, like, why we get it more involved in American politics than we do our own, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
I don't even
know.
what. Okay, this is so sad to say. What happens? Okay, we get a new prime minister.
Yeah.
Do we have like a giant inauguration like this? I don't even remember.
There is, but it's not like a giant. Like this is like a fucking. Like this is like a whole like ceremony.
Yeah, people
parade.
people are
Obviously, it's like-
stopping work to watch this and stuff, which I get.
Yeah,
It's
there's,
it's a big event, right? The leader of your country, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like in Canada we don't put that much importance on it.
Yeah, not even that much importance. Like when there's a new prime minister, it's like pretty much the same shit, but like it's more like not viewed as much. Everyone knows there's a new prime minister or change in party of the leading party. but like nothing is like, I think it's because like the media is so much more involved in the politics
In the
in the
States, yeah, I feel like
and
it's more celebrity than it is in Canada, right? Like it's like drama, like, ooh, Trump's not coming
yeah,
to the
yeah,
inauguration, like what is this
yeah,
person wearing, what is that person wearing? Did you see
and
that guy was wearing Dior's today? Like,
yeah, a lot of that comes from, I think, TV stations and websites such as like CNN and Fox.
yeah,
I think they do, like, especially during the election. Okay, when the election was on, I was glued to my TV for like,
on
how many
election
ever days
day.
it was on election day,
Yeah,
for like 3 days. 3 days I was glued to my TV. I was like, this is so fucking intense. Like, I was like, this. I was watching CNN for like 12,
it's like a TV
13
show.
hours a day.
It's a TV
Bro,
show. It's like a
It's
drama.
better than a TV show.
Yeah,
It's like a
because it's real.
reality.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a reality TV show. I was like, holy shit! I can't even believe this is like real. He's like, oh, theoretically, this amount of votes and 250,000
Yeah.
here in the district county, and he's like breaking it down. That guy, I don't know his name, but like
on CNN, the one near the
Yeah.
smart board. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
and he
smart
worked
that-
like crazy hours for those 3 days. Didn't
Oh
he have
my
like
God.
4 hours of like
Yeah.
off or something like that?
Yeah,
it's insane.
That's fucking
But
crazy.
yeah,
man.
it's
And
so
like,
much more drama when it comes to American like politics.
Yeah, it's just more intense. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because I think there's like, not like there's more prestige to being a, I think that's what it kind of is. Like, you're just somewhat more prestigious as a president of the United States than you are as a prime minister. Not that I'm saying it actually is, but that's the way I think of it.
I think it's
You know
just
what I
like
mean?
bigger country, yeah, like more the world.
Like just
the world's eyes are more on what's going
The
on in the
States,
States than it is in Canada, right?
Yeah,
So
it's kind of crazy though.
Going back to him not showing up to the inauguration, that's a big deal. Not only because in 150 years there hasn't been a president, right? But who's done that? But the reason why the old president is there during the inauguration is to kind of show like unity and like the passing of the buck, right? Like, okay, we lost, like this is our new president, this is who we got to support. So that's why it's such a big deal that Trump didn't show up today, because
Well, I think he still doesn't accept it.
no,
Like, he still
100%
can't
he
accept
doesn't.
it.
100% he doesn't accept it, which is you're a sore loser. You're a loser. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you can't accept
Yeah, I
that you
know.
lost. You're trying to come up with these excuses and stuff, and it's like you gotta
well, like,
accept
for
your
a limited
loss.
amount of time, watching what like CNN was saying and stuff like that, and you're watching the news and everything that's going on, and he's like preaching about like all these votes that are coming in, like, you know, like illegal votes or whatever, like they're not properly counted and all that bullshit. It's like you start to believe it.
Yeah,
Like, as a
you don't know
viewer,
what's
like,
real, right?
if you don't lean one way, like if you're like completely neutral, you start to believe it. Like, it's so persuasive that you start to believe, like, holy fuck, like these guys are bringing ballots, like these guys are bringing votes in and they're not counted like properly or whatever. Like, it's all like
it
a
questions
scam,
it. But that's why,
right?
and we're getting like deep into politics now. But that's why like Trump was kind of was so dangerous, right? Because he was the most
Super
powerful,
persuasive.
He was the most powerful man in America, and it's like with that power comes great power comes great responsibility, right? So like,
Oh, yeah.
when he tells you something, you should believe it. It should be factual, right? So when he's spewing that, like, yeah, they're against me, the votes aren't getting counted correctly, like voter fraud, all of that, some people tend to believe it because he's the most powerful man. He's your leader. He's who you elected to be leader, right? And you want to listen to him. You want to believe him. So that's why it's so dangerous over the last 4 years of Trump like spewing some of the things he's been spewing.
Yeah, and imagine if you were a Trump supporter or like a Republican, like you practice, not you practice, you supported Trump, obviously, right? I don't. Is
Yeah.
it right wing or left
Right
wing is
wing.
Democratic?
Yeah.
Yeah, right wing is Republican.
Yeah.
Like, imagine how much outrage there is within these people. The gun laws people is what they refer to them as, right? Like,
It's tough,
or no,
right?
the
Because
no gun laws or whatever.
I think there's a percentage of Republicans, right? Who know like he's kind of being a sore loser right now, and he's kind of reaching, right, to hold on to his power. And then there's the other percentage of the Republicans where they're like where they believe what
the
he's saying, and those are the ones who
Yeah.
like march on the Capitol and do all of that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is so dangerous because it's like,
Yeah.
listen, you need to like understand. You can't just say things when you're in a position of power
Yeah,
like
no.
that. When you're a leader of one of the most powerful countries in the world, like you need to come correct. You need to watch what you're saying. You can't just spew whatever comes to the top of your mind. You can't have a podcast. You can't have a podcast and just
Yeah.
start spitting. You know what
not
I mean?
even that. Like, even on Twitter, like, they banned him from Twitter, right?
Yeah.
For whatever, 14 days, I think it was, or something stupid like that.
No,
But,
forever, I think.
Was it forever?
I think he's gone. Yeah. I think Donald Trump is
I don't
gone.
know.
Not just like whoever the president, like, because I think he got banned off of the Instagram, because the Twitter, I mean, because every president like gets hold of the like POTUS Twitter account and they like ban him. But when like Joe Biden gets in, he'll take control over that.
Joe
Twitter.
Biden has it. I think he has it already.
Yeah, because he got it inaugurated today, right? So he's now the president.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Like that's like, it just boggles my mind that like Twitter can have that big of an impact. You know what I mean?
Well,
like social media like that.
That started the whole debate. With like freedom of speech and banning him from Twitter and stuff, right? Because he does need to talk to the people, but when you're in that position of power again and you're not saying factual things, you become dangerous and you need to be taken off those social medias. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I also think like there's a lot of, like, going back to what I said before, I think there's a lot of things that we publicize more about, like the states that we take more into account within within that country rather than Canada, especially, or even all over the world. Another big one is for me is football.
Sports, yeah.
Sports especially, but primarily football. Like,
yeah.
Because like we have like the MLS, which includes Canadian teams, but still mostly
CFL.
American. And then the CFL compared to the NFL is like,
it's night and day, right?
It's not even close. Not even not even remotely close, right? Like, you can't even compare the fans, the revenue, the salaries, and everything. You can't
the product, the athletes on the field, right, are just so much like, if you have a top Canadian talent, he's not gonna want to play.
Not to discredit, but not to discredit like CFL athletes.
No, they're great.
There's still like athletes from the CFL that'll go into the NFL and they'll fucking dominate.
Yeah, 100%.
But at the same time, it's like there's no way that team, like Canadian teams, are making anywhere near as money, because everyone that you know from the States, from Canada, at least in Ontario, that I've come across in my entire life.
Yeah.
If you ask somebody, hey, what's your favorite football team? It's never
a CFL team.
The Calgary Stampeders, right? Like it's always like, oh, the Jets, the Giants,
exactly.
The Patriots, the
Bears,
like, the Bills.
I don't know how to change that, because in the States, right? Like, you can't stop the NFL. Like, they've done such a good job with like their marketing and everything, right? Where it's like the CFL just can't compete. Like, still a great product. The CFL still has a great product, but it's just it's tough to compete, right? You get caught up in like the glitz and glamour of the NFL.
So if you start moving west across Canada, just before British Columbia ish, around that area of Canada,
the prairies.
The prairies is much more dominant in that they support the CFL over the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not even close compared to like what's the term, like urbanized cities or like areas. You know what I mean? Like, areas with higher population, more densely populated areas are definitely, they support
more local
NFL
sports.
Yeah.
They care more about that. It's like
densely is like the NFL, and then sparsely
is local sports, and like CFL and stuff.
Sports. Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you ever heard about that. There was this I don't know if it was a rumor, but like apparently in places like Nunavut and like very sparsely populated areas, where the resources are limited.
Mm-hmm.
This was like, I don't know if it's some sort of joke or whatever, but and apparently it was somewhat true, but I don't know like to the fullest extent. But there was like Tim Hortons workers make like double the wage of like regular minimum wage paid
Employees
workers
here
in like Toronto. Yeah, like
yeah,
shit like
but
that,
you know
like,
why
work
that
at
is
the
though?
company.
It's because
I
like
think it's just
everything's
because,
so
like,
much more
everything costs
expensive.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like
That's-
a bread, like a loaf of bread, right? If a loaf of bread is
It's
$10,
like $8.
yeah, you have to raise the minimum wage.
That's
Yeah,
which one?
yeah. So none
Yeah.
of it has the highest wage at $16 an hour, minimum wage.
Yeah,
$16.
yeah. That's fucked. That's crazy.
That's huge. Yeah.
Well, like I get it though. I get it. I don't think it's. Do you think it's because of transportation in terms of
Yeah.
shipping and stuff like
Yeah,
that, or do you think
100%.
it's just?
I think it's tough.
Or do,
It's
I
tough
think it's
to
also
get.
access
up
to
there.
local resources. Like they don't have as many obviously local. Like we get a lot of our stuff shipped or sent from other places, but I think it's also
Yeah, we don't have to worry about
from
getting anything,
local
right?
things. Yeah,
Everything.
that's true.
coming
That's
to
I think
Toronto.
that's a blessing. I think it's a low key a little blessing that we don't have to like worry about ravishing or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but then we
we
pay
always
for
have.
it, and this is
We
tough to
do.
make the conversation. But we pay for it in like housing and stuff, right? Like the city, everybody has to move farther and farther out of the city because it's getting more expensive within the city,
Gets
right?
more- yeah.
Like housing wise and stuff.
Yeah, that's especially like I don't know how like I never knew if I was the only one who like noticed that. Like the further you go away from the city, your house can be so much nicer for so much cheaper.
Yeah, 100%.
Like-
but which sucks because now, yeah, the city is expanding because there's so many people. So like the outer limits of the city keep getting pushed back. So
Yeah.
like places in like my area, right? I used to be on like the outskirts of Toronto, and now like
Yeah.
it's getting pushed more and more. And like houses in my area are like going for like crazy amounts, where like before they were cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Did you? Okay, yeah.
So big record-breaking day, right? Trump not showing up to the inauguration.
Yeah. A
all
lot
that.
of fucking for the
Ronaldo.
first episode, yeah.
Did you hear about Ronaldo? Cristiano
broke the
Ronaldo.
record for most
he
goals,
broke
yeah.
the record. 750 goals in his career. Right?
Yeah,
I believe that's
a lot of fucking goals.
internationally and like
That's a lot of
league.
goals. Okay, I know you're a little biased. However, do you think that towards the end of that amount of goals,
Yeah.
right? Not saying like, oh, he wanted the record, so when he hit like 600, like they pushed for him to get goals. Like that doesn't happen. When you hit 600, it's more like if you're at like 740 or something, right? Like they'll push for you to get like 10 goals.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, knowing he's Ronaldo, like Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah.
is there ever a thought like we gotta feed, like obviously he's like one of the
Yeah,
greats, one of the goats, like we gotta feed this guy so he beats these records?
I don't
Like,
think
you get
it's
what I
so
mean by
much.
that?
I don't think they're feeding him to beat those records, right? Like I don't. I think, but I definitely think on the teams he's on, especially I've seen it with Portugal, where it's like you're dying to feed Ronaldo. Like it seems like that's the only player, but it's because he's so great, right? Like if you're a player, you're like, listen, I could give it to this guy on the edge of the box, and he'll make something happen. So let me look
Yeah.
for him. Like,
Yeah, of course.
you know what I mean? So I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, let me try finding him so he can beat this record. I think it's more like he gives us the best chance to score
Of
a goal.
scoring.
Like,
Yeah.
let me just feed him. But then that becomes a problem. And we've seen it a lot with Portugal because it's like when that's your only guy you're looking for, the defense picks on that, picks up on
picks
that,
on
right?
it.
And then
Yeah.
they just cover him and it's thing. So,
Yeah, but I want to like, okay, so like, sorry, I'm not
No, go,
trying
go.
to interrupt you, but like when you're, let's say, giving you an example, like let's say you're an up and coming artist, like Renato Sanchez, soccer player.
I was going to
Right?
say,
You're up and- I said artist like an idiot. Let's say you're an up and coming soccer player, or
Yeah.
you're an up and coming athlete in general, right?
Mhm.
You have a superstar like that on your team. The team is obviously playing through them,
yeah.
right? Is it a good thing or a bad thing that it takes away from, let's say let's say you come out of high school or college or whatever, and you're getting all these touches.
Yeah.
You go for you either go first round or you get traded or you get signed to a farm team, whatever it is, right? You get all these touches. You're the star of the team. You're getting the ball all the time. Like, is it good that the team is making you work harder to get the touches on the team you go to?
Yeah.
Or is it taking away from these new young players that are trying to get more touches?
I think
Or
the cream will always rise.
It's taken away from, yeah.
The cream will always
Yeah, I
rise to
think
the
so.
top, right? Like, okay, like if we take like LeBron James, right? LeBron James came out of high school. And okay, yeah, he went to like a bad Cavs team and stuff, but he had to be the man. And he was still one, like, what, top 10 best players out in the league, and he came out of high school. Like, the cream will rise to the top, sorry. Like, you need to greatness. Like, if I'm the coach of a team, right, and my goal and I'm on a decent team, right, and I have Ronaldo, I have Cristiano Ronaldo on my team, and then I have like a 17-year-old wonder kid who's also a striker, right? My goal is to win the championship or whatever, right? Win the Champions League, win the league, do whatever. If Ronaldo gives me the best chance, I gotta go with Ronaldo. I can't be it's not necessarily my job to make sure.
Okay, so that
17-year-old.
That brings me to like a sort of subdivided question. So let's say, what you're trying to explain there is, if I got it correctly, is if you're on the team, you have a better, like, your odds are higher if you're training or on a team without a superstar that would be taken away from you, rather than if you, like, let's say you're up and coming, like, you're top of the top. Like, your odds are better to thrive without a superstar on your team.
I think it depends. It depends because there's advantages to both.
Those superstars can also make you better, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
right?
I think the perfect example of that is, oh my God, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers sat out for what, like 3 years, like under Brett Favre, like learning, seeing how to be a professional, seeing his work ethic, seeing what he does, and then when the time is right, he came into the team, right? And now he's one of the greatest quarterbacks. So I think it depends what it's tough because I think it's based on the person, right? Like, I think some guys will use that as motivation and be like, okay, I got to work hard every day so I could be like this player and like eventually get to that level. And then I think there's other guys who are like, I need to be playing. Like, I can't just be training and stuff. I need actual touches. So that's why, like, in soccer at least, guys go out on loan all the time, right? So young guys go on loan. So it's like, okay, listen, like, we want you. We think you're a future star, but I'm going to send you to like this Division 2 team so you could start every game and you could like get like the reps in. Yeah. So it depends, but and I did say it was up to the player where like he kind of works on his development, but it is obviously on the team as well, right? Because if they're not loaning him out and shit, it's
I think so too. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It can go both ways. It just depends on the way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
You had another topic you wanted to talk about, actually, that you wrote down.
This one is spicy. This one's not... It's a few weeks old. I think it happened in the beginning of the year. You don't know... Do you know who Hilaria Baldwin is?
Is it like Alec Baldwin's like daughter or Alex
It's
Baldwin?
Alec Baldwin's wife. Did you hear? You haven't heard any of this drama?
No.
What's going on? This story is hilarious. Okay, so Hilaria Baldwin recently got outed for like cultural appropriation. Because hold on, wait for it. In 2000, she was born in Boston. In 2000, she was not born Hilaria Baldwin. She was born...
She's hilarious.
This is hilarious. She was born Hillary. She was born Hillary, not Hilaria. In 2009, she changed her name and stuff. And her family, like goes on vacations to Spain and stuff. But she's from Boston. She was born in the U.S. and, like, she speaks English and stuff. 2009, she changes her name to Hilaria. She puts on, like, this accent. and she talks about how like she's Spanish and shit. There's one clip that is hilarious. She's on like some cooking show, right? And she's like she's like cutting a cucumber. She's like, I forget the name of this. In English, she's like, cucumber. She's like, oh, cucumber, and it's
Oh
like,
my
you
God.
stupid idiot.
What the
Like,
fuck?
what are you doing? What do you
What the
mean you
fuck?
forgot?
So she got arrested for this?
No, she didn't get arrested, but like
did you
everybody's
say
like
before?
outing her. She's
Oh.
not getting canceled. Like, I don't think it's that extreme.
Maybe she wants to be fucking Spanish. I don't know why. I
Oh,
don't know
so
why it
bad.
would
Like her
change.
family like visits Spain a lot and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
she changed her name, and then she's like acting like she's like a sorority girl, and she's like acting
my
like she's
God.
like pure like 100% Spanish and stuff. And okay, you speak Italian? Are you like fluent in Italian?
No, hell no.
You're
even
not
close.
fluent. Okay, your parents
I
are
know
fluent.
what my parents are fluent. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Do your parents ever like? But they were born here and they're like fluent in English,
Yeah,
right?
my dad and my mom have been to Italy. Like
Yeah. So like my
they've
parents
never like lived there.
my parents same thing, right? But my parents never forget like a cucumber, like regular
No.
words. Like she was just like, oh, it's hilarious.
No.
It's hilarious that she's
No,
getting
that's
like
fucked.
outed.
That's fucked. So it's Alec Bald. Maybe she's preparing for a role. Like
No,
Alec.
no, it's since 2009. Since 2009, that's
Holy fuck.
crazy. Do you know how embarrassing that is?
Yeah, no. Imagine, someone should do like pull up videos. There's definitely videos of her before 2009
Yeah.
speaking like proper English.
100%.
Just be like, yo, like
What are you doing?
like,
Literally, everybody's
was-
just like,
this was
what
you,
are
like-
you trying to do?
this was you like 3 years ago. Like what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah,
And she's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What
But
is
oh,
this,
I
a
thought this
phone?
was so funny. What do
That's a
you
fucking
do
meme.
if you're Alec Baldwin? Do you divorce
I
her?
just be
No,
like-
you don't divorce her,
Okay,
but you're
okay,
hella
let me be
embarrassed.
real with you. Let me be. Okay, let me look up a picture of
No,
hilarious Baldwin.
she's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Okay.
She's beautiful. But listen, does Alec know? Like Alec definitely knows.
Alec Baldwin. She's good looking.
No, she's beautiful. Don't even.
Yeah, she's good. She's not like a supermodel. She's
No,
not
no.
Like,
She's very
she
good
didn't
looking.
fall
Girl.
down from heaven, but she's good looking. Like, great. Uh, Alec Baldwin seems like a kind of a dick outside
Yeah,
of
he
the
is
screen.
an ass. Yeah, 100%.
He definitely seems like it. I don't know if he just plays roles that's kind of like that, but he does seem
No,
very
yeah.
much like a dick.
He had like a
outside
few
of
blow ups in
the
like
set.
New York and shit. But like, okay, so this question to you: if you fall in love with this girl, you marry her, and you think she's like Italian or whatever, right? She has an accent. She's like all about it, and then one day it comes out like, oh no, like she's full blown like
She's
caker.
fucking-
She was just
Italian?
putting on an accent the entire time, and like lying. What do? One, you're embarrassed. You are so
Yeah.
embarrassed because how do you explain that to your family? How do you explain? And that's us. He's a celebrity. The whole world is
Yeah.
laughing at him. And
Yeah.
it's just terrible situation.
That's a fucking meme. That's a fucking meme. Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane.
It
Yeah.
says here. Yeah, it says here that like he left Twitter yesterday over his wife's like heritage like scandal beef. That's what CTV News says. But
insane.
or they're saying they like that as Alec, I would just be like sort of kind of like what the fuck.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it was like she was like super super passionate, like this is me now, like I'm fucking Spanish and you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, okay.
Enough to
I'd
change
be
your
like,
name
okay,
and stuff.
okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
If it's,
so
like, enough to
intense.
change- if she's like doing the accent at home with me, like okay, yeah, I'm chilling. But like, like if it's
Yeah, if she committed to the role.
yeah,
and
like
then
if
you're
it's
fine
all
with
the
it.
time, like I'm cool with it. But if it's like she comes home and she's like, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
speaking proper English, as soon as she steps out the door, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Yeah.
You know, it's like
That'd be hilarious.
it's like okay, like
That's so funny.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
That's so funny. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that'd be a fucking meme. No, I can't imagine that. That'd be. Well, number one, do they have kids? I think they do. They have.
They
like
definitely
three,
have
no?
kids, yeah.
I think they have three. Yeah. Yeah. I think they do have 3 kids.
Yeah, this is not Haley.
Haley Baldwin is Alex Baldwin's daughter.
No, it's not
right?
Alex. I thought
Or
it was
not
another
Alex. what's his name?
That would be something. Could you imagine you name your kids Alec and Alex? Oh, that would be exhausting. The two brothers.
Steven. No? Am I fucked?
I don't know. It's the guy. All I know him from, he was in.
Stephen Baldwin.
Is it Steven? I don't know.
There's Daniel, there's William, and there's Alec, and there's fucking Steven, apparently. There's
I have
4.
to look at his face. He's the guy who was in, like, the Flintstones.
The Flintstones?
Yeah. You don't remember?
No, I've never seen that. Yeah, Steven is Haley Baldwin.
It's Steven.
Steven's
yeah.
Haley Baldwin's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think Haley Baldwin's like top of the top. Like,
so if she was pretending to be Spanish, listen.
I'm telling you, that's
sweep it
that's
under
my
the rug.
rule. No, that's my rule. Like if she's committing at home, like if that's
but if they're not
now,
committing at home, it's over.
If you speak one word of English to me at home, like properly,
yeah, you better have an accent
done,
on.
Finished.
All hours of
finished.
the day.
That's gonna be you. You gotta commit to that fucking rule. The only time you should be speaking proper English is to by yourself in the shower. Be like,
Jesus
finally,
Christ,
I can speak.
Yeah.
I can speak English. If I open that fucking washroom door and you're not like, hola honey, like it's
man.
over.
Oh, that's
But
so
that's
funny.
a fucking meme.
That's so funny. That's so embarrassing. Oh my god.
Yeah. No. Imagine if it was like Justin, right? If it was like Haley and Justin, that'd be kind of fucked too.
That would be so funny.
That'd be like.
Yeah, Haley. All this time, Haley's
up.
talking with like an American accent, but really she is Spanish.
That'd be way more blown up though.
Oh yeah, no, it would be huge.
Whatever you think it is with this, to fucking
yeah,
launch
there's
that
different
by 13,
tiers,
bro.
There's different tiers to this. I think Justin Bieber and Haley Baldwin are like top tier celebrities.
Couple. Are they married? Yeah.
Yeah, they are married. Yeah.
But there's a lot of that. Even like tons of those celebrity like couples, I would see it just blowing up like more than this, obviously. But that's so shit. I mean, I'm telling you, that's what you have to figure out. If she's doing that shit at home, then it's like, okay, she's Spanish now.
Yeah.
Not born in Spain, but she wants to act Spanish. Okay, I fucking allow her. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Doesn't bother me at all. But like, if she's coming home and apparently he's like, if he comes on and says like, yeah, she only does it in public or something like that, I'd be like, oh, fuck this chick. Like,
now, if there was a celebrity, right, and they were pretending to be Italian or something, do you get offended by that? No, you just make so much fun of it. I would just make so much
Europe.
fun.
I would make the most fun of it. I just think like, again, it's the commitment level. If it's there, it's there. You know.
Yeah,
what I
if
mean?
she
like,
knows everything,
you gotta be taking trips. Like she'd probably know more than me. Like if she was going to like,
I hope so.
like every twice a year or some shit like that. Like you probably know more than me. I just know because of the descendants are all here, right? Like,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't get offended by it either.
I could never see myself doing that though. That's crazy. You know how much work that is?
Oh, exhausting.
And how does she not forget? Like the first like 6 months must have been like, oh, you mind passing me the? And then oh fuck, do you mind passing me the?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, doesn't she? She definitely does that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like she just forgets instantly, and then it switches back.
Like but, that definitely happened. Like okay, so when I went to Portugal in the summer, right? I went for like a month. You get like so involved with the culture and stuff that you start like kind of thinking in Portuguese and stuff. But I never once like forgot how to speak like English and stuff and like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I was
a lot of things.
Oh, that's so funny.
I think that happens with a lot of things. Like an example is like even at work, like you know shit. Like there's a lot of shit we have to know, whatever. But like if I go on vacation for like 2 months. Like, you know, I went on vacation. I went to Italy for two. It was like over 2 months actually, almost 3 months. And I came back and it was like, yeah, like I just do it like I was doing it before.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little slower at shit. Or
yeah,
whatever
definitely you're out of the loop, but
like I still know, like I'm not an idiot.
Yeah,
right?
it's like riding a bike, and that's with your job.
Unless it's like 10 fucking years, right? But
yeah, you didn't grow up, and that's with your job that you had been working for like 2 years or whatever. Like, could you imagine? Like, you were born, you were living every single day as a Canadian for 20-something years or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, she's fucked. She's fucked. She's beyond fucked.
Oh,
it's not comprehensible. Okay, let's move on to... We had another topic, actually. I don't know if you want to... mention it was the Razer.
Yeah, yeah. So Razer announced their or they put out a little teaser video for their smart mask, which I'm a little
Yeah.
bit surprised that it took this long for a company to pull the trigger on a smart mask. So
Yeah.
so what this mask is,
A technology company to pull the trigger.
yeah, 100%. What
Not
this
like
mask is a smart mask, quote unquote, where it has like all the ventilation system. It's like a clear mask. It looks futuristic. There's like a built-in like mic that like projects
Yeah,
your voice.
it looks like it came right out of Tron. Like
Yeah,
literally,
it's
that's
cool.
the
It's cool looking.
First thing I think about is like Tron Legacy just fucking came right out of there, and that's what everybody's gonna be using.
Yeah.
But we talked about this before when you mentioned it originally, and it's like super thought out. That's one thing I have to give credit to them. They didn't just slap a couple RGBs on a fucking mask and do a little ventilation system.
We've seen those
very
masks.
well thought out.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Have you seen those masks? There's some terrible like quote unquote like smart masks out there with like just lights and like
yeah.
No,
I've seen
no,
some
but
bad ones.
Razor's definitely taking it to the next level where it's not so much a
Very
gimmick.
clean.
Yeah.
Very, very, very clean. Especially with like, I thought one thing that would be the problem would be making it like adaptable to everybody's face, because you have to all this hardware in there.
Yeah.
And whatever, but it looks like really nice, and like this super. It looks like super soft. Like this cushioning comes like here.
Yeah,
like
it looks
down
like it looks legit.
It looks like it fits perfect. Yeah, it looks legit.
Yeah.
Has the rubber straps at the back, and then it has that feature. I'm gonna read it here.
What, like
What was it?
the microphone?
Yeah,
That's what I thought was the coolest thing about it. It has like this like megaphone kind of thing in it where it like projects your voice.
Yeah, so Project Hazel, that's what it was
Yeah,
called.
that's the code name for it.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. It has the case has the auto sterilization thing with the UV light.
Yeah, I totally
So
forgot
like
about that.
you put the mask in the case, like it comes with like this little like fucking case that closes on top of it,
Yeah.
and it's like surrounded by UV light, and it like sterilizes the mask.
Yeah.
Sort of, but like if there's any like big debris, like if you're launching snot rockets in there, like you gotta clean that. You gotta clean that.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And
The
I
lights
guess
aren't
the
gonna
little-
kill that.
Yeah, the UV light gets like the little guys, like.
Yeah, the actual like.
But still,
germs.
that's like fucking crazy.
No,
Uh,
it opens up a giant hole for other tech companies, right? Like Apple and Google and Samsung, right? Like, do they have
Yeah.
anything in the works? I think they look at
Probably.
like the longevity, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I think
Like,
it's
this would
tough.
have to be you wouldn't be able to like mass produce this product.
Yeah, like I think if I'm Apple, like I don't think I develop one, right? Because I think people are
yeah.
so tired of wearing masks and stuff.
Especially with a vaccine, like with
Yeah.
a vaccine that's like people are taking. Like I don't think it's.
I think if this came out like 3 months after, like if this came out in like March, right? I think people.
when shit was at the low of the low. Like
Yeah.
it didn't look like it was going up anywhere else.
Yeah, people
Like, it
weren't
just kept going
people
lower.
weren't like necessarily tired of wearing masks and stuff. Like people just want the vaccine now and to be done with masks, to be done with everything, right? To
Yeah.
go back to living their normal life. So I don't know if they're gonna.
But I personally think that like even if everybody has a vaccine,
Yeah.
I still don't think that we go maskless
Yeah,
for like at least a year.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's been like it's
Yeah.
super unfortunate, but I think that's just what happens.
it has
like,
to. Yeah, it's what
in
has to
general.
happen. So the thing about this is, how much would you pay for this mask?
There is no specific price on the mask yet, but
Yeah. But
I think like with voice amp technology, like it's all the RGBs and all that, super comfy. I think the maximum I would pay is probably, let's say $100.
yeah, same. Which it's going to be more. It's going to be more than $100. But I don't think I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think
I wouldn't
think
be
it
able
probably,
to commit.
I think it's gonna probably retail at about $149. That's what I think personally.
Yeah, I think closer to $200, which is
I
like
think like 150,
so insane.
160, something like that.
People are going to be on the subway getting their masks snatched. Could you
Yeah.
imagine? That'd be hilarious.
That'd be
If
fucked.
if you get mugged for your mask.
And especially, I don't know if I'm the only one who does it, but like when you put a mask on, I put it behind my glasses.
So it stays on.
right? Yeah, so it doesn't like make my glasses slip off.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody
I just
has
started
this problem,
doing that.
but if you do, fucking give us a shout because it's super fucking relatable and I hate it. But especially when you work with a mask on.
Yeah.
But I do have like I put it under. So imagine getting your shit snatched, like your mask snatched, and then your glasses are just fuck going with it, and then
Yeah. I think it's just
like,
embarrassing.
oh, fuck.
It's just so going back to embarrassing. It's just so embarrassing getting mugged
Could you
for a
imagine
mask.
just sitting on the fucking subway and some guy runs up to you, snatches your mask off, and you're just sitting there with no mask, and everyone's like,
Yeah. Yeah. What do you do? You're like, yeah. You walk out of the subway and somebody's yelling at you because you don't have a mask on. Meanwhile,
If you
you're
see
crying
some-
because somebody just like stole your mask from you. Your $200 mask.
no. If you see some guy running towards you, and he's like getting quicker and he's eyeing you down, just start coughing like a fucking
Yeah.
madman.
You're
Just
fucking
start
just
coughing.
grabbing that thing against your face.
Or there should
Jokes
be a
on them.
lock
They don't
feature.
have the case. Have fun with
Oh,
the
yeah. Have fun
non-sterile
with all my-
case.
Yeah, I'll have fun with all my bacteria in your fucking mouth now. Get fucked.
Yeah.
No, but I think, like you said, now especially there is no longevity to that product. They wouldn't be able to like produce something now, and have it go wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not a product like AirPods that people can jump on, because they're, whatever. Like I've been using my AirPods for like 3 years now. The original ones came out.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and there's like
Yeah, they're a forever product,
there's
right?
there's
You'll
a plan
always
on
need
me
to-
using them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Yes,
an
I don't
inconvenience
think-
too, right? Like where a mask is, I don't want to wear this mask.
Yeah, and the case isn't small.
No,
So,
it's like a Pelican
like,
case
if
or
you-
whatever.
It's not like you can bring this fucking mask around, right? Like you have to wear. Like I guess you wouldn't have to bring it.
Could you
around,
imagine
but-
going to school and you have to bring your backpack and your laptop and shit, and then you have this
And
Pelican like
giant
case?
mask?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you're just like, fuck.
I don't know. I think it's good and bad, but I don't think a company like Razer would like invest a lot of money into producing them,
No.
only because there's not like a huge market for them.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a cool idea.
Well, I'm saying there is right now, but like in the future, you wouldn't expect there to be a huge market for them at all.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about like not getting involved with the masks. Let's talk about like 2020 in general. What were you saying, Andrew?
Yeah, so 2020, the amount of movies and documentaries and everything that are going to come out in the future about this year is going to be insane. Like think
There's
about
already one. There's already
yeah,
one.
yeah. Have you watched it?
No,
It's a
the
comedy.
one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. It's like I think it's
I
called
watched
like
like
Fuck
the
2020.
Fuck 2020 or something. I saw like the first 20 minutes, and they break it down from the beginning with the Australia fires.
Yeah, that's
and,
what I'm saying. Like the amount of individual movies you're gonna be able to make of what happened in 2020. Okay, you got the pandemic, right? That's the biggest news story.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a ton of movies about that, right?
Yeah.
You have all the Trump stuff, right? The Capitol, Trump, like everything he's done. You have
The Black Lives Matter movement.
Black Lives Matter movement.
Well, not the movement, but
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
terrible
No,
word for it,
but
yeah.
we get it. Yeah, everything that
Yeah,
happened with Black Lives Matter.
The killer hornets that were at the beginning of the year, the Australia fires that were at
Yeah.
the beginning of the year,
Kobe
Kobe's
died.
death.
Yeah,
Kobe and Gianna. What's the other one?
a lot of
There's
celebrity
like one
deaths.
more. Yeah, a lot of celebrity deaths. Tom Hanks was the first one to get COVID. And,
Yeah, there's gonna be so many
tons
spins
of
out.
tons of
spin-offs.
like TV shows and Netflix shows and comedy specials and documentaries, docuseries that have already come out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
just talk
100%.
about it all the time. Like a good example is the Kevin Hart comedy special. They just released.
Oh, yeah, from his home, right?
I forgot, from his house, yeah, because he had everybody tested before, and then they all the audience like came in, whatever, and he had like what looked like 30 to 40 people in his house, but they were all tested 6 feet apart, all that shit. And he did like a whole show in his house, and all he's talking about, well, not all he's talking about, but he does talk about like COVID, and he had it, and his wife had it, and
yeah,
whatever, right? Like, it's just there's gonna be a period in time where all that content is gonna be revolved around COVID.
oh yeah, yeah. There's
and
gonna be
and especially when you see shit like this, like me and you,
yeah,
right? You're gonna see like two people talking, right? Not in the same setting, and you're gonna say, "Holy fuck!" Like this happened when COVID was on. You know what I mean? Like otherwise, this wouldn't happen.
No, we would be sitting right
Yeah.
beside each other.
Yeah, that's another thing now that we're getting close to the end of the first podcast. Myself and Andrew deemed it was the most respectful to not only the viewers but to ourselves to maintain our own settings in our own homes
Yeah.
and take the pandemic seriously, just so we can somehow push the world forward and hopefully eradicate this virus pretty soon.
Just to get through it, right? We don't want to be.
Yeah.
This is what, our third lockdown, like third big time lockdown
Third
in Ontario, at least?
lockdown.
Yeah, right. And
Third
like
provincial.
everybody, just follow it. Just get through it. If you believe in it or not, just follow the guidelines, just to push through so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I was sour about it. I was really sour about it when it, like, originally started. Then I got it, and then I was still sour because, like, I didn't feel any effects, like shit like that, right?
Yeah.
But now it's just kind of like, you know what? I'll stay home for the fucking couple months, get the fucking vaccine out, and this way we can go back to fucking hanging out with people and
Exactly.
doing what we love and shit like that, and recording with our fucking friends and everything.
Yeah, if everybody listened in the beginning, like literally everybody, it would have been
Not
better
as
for the
bad,
long run.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But I
everybody
still
just do
think it
your
would have
part.
been the same shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for the first episode. Actually,
sure.
This was good. I enjoyed this very much.
Always great talking to you, Matthew.
So yeah, that's episode 1 of Refreshing the Feed. I want to thank you for watching, Andrew. Thank you one more time.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And we refreshed your feed so you didn't have to. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye.